share this recording after the um, training gets over, so you can take a look at it. So you all can hear me clear, right? Loud and clear. Yeah. So please go on mute. So unless you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Thank you. So, okay. So the last session we had is with the RPA. So we gave some introduction and we talked about the the various ways we can do an automation and how to do automation and the various tools that supports automation. And we also saw a couple of market research in terms of the tools which are leading in RPA. So few of us have attended it and few of us have not. So I just thought I will give an introduction again quickly before we go through the UIPath basics training. So let go through quickly about the RPA. This RPA, as we mentioned, like it's, robotic process automation. So where you can see in the diagram quickly, this is like the left hand side you see is the manual process where the end users log into one application. They might need to interact with multiple applications based on each application results. Let's say one of them it is actually a mainframe one, so it may be a mainframe or non-mainframe, Windows or web, or even a simple Excel extract or emails. So everything they do it manually, it can be automated using this RPA. So um, basically we are trying to replace this manual mundane repeated tasks to robots, software robots. So these software robots are um, kind of pre-programmed and unscripted to run in a way in a specific sequence, and we can also introduce some programming to ensure that those exception sequences can also be handled, like unexpected pop-ups coming up, or anything like that. So that also can be handled as a robot. So this is the basic about RPA. So you can read the text. I will share this PPT also. Um, so this is basic about RPA. So RPA is actually a terminology which is kind of it's called process automation. That means that whatever business processes the team does, um, we are trying to write the queries, and we are trying to automate it using the software robots. Okay, so this can emulate a transactional and administrative task. So as I mentioned, this is we need to look for the repetitive tasks, right? So where you can easily implement this RPA is that wherever the operations are more mature and very higher in volume, like daily we need to process some 100 applications per head without we have a matured process, and so the higher volume and the complexity is lower wherever you have the structured data inputs, right? So you don't have to you always input structured data. So those are the areas we can look to implement RPA. And where RPA is not easy or difficult to implement is that, I mean, your operations is like it's not mature enough, and it's done in ad hoc basis or lower volume, or the complexity is more like you interact with multiple applications, and then based on that you make some decisions and then go into another applications and approve say a loan or something, right? So which is complex. So those complex processes we cannot automate it with the available tools for now. And any unstructured data input, so the data input has to be structured. So if it is unstructured, again, with the simple RPA tools, we cannot automate it, or we should not be looking at automating it. And we also saw this insurance area. So what are the areas currently the RPA is implemented in the insurance industry? So you can see literally all these we are actually working on these applications, like claims, underwriting, prices, and policy admin servicing. So all these areas, the industry is looking at automation. So this is just the insurance domain, and you also have the call center. You also have the banking domain. So manufacturing industry, everywhere this RPA automation, business process automation, has been targeted now. And so these are the tools, leading tools in market. As you can see in the right up corner, so you see this automation anywhere, which is a star performer, and Blue Prism UIPath, which is what we're going to see, is another star performer, and autonomy. And we have few starters as well, Softomotive, Chiron system. So these are different tools, but the basic concept for RPA is remains same, right? These are different tools. You can learn one or two tools. You can easily automate. So wherever, yeah, so each tool has its own the limitations and also advantages. So you can choose based on your process which you want to automate, and also based on your client's licensed version, which tool they have the license. So you need to go for that. And this is another survey for Forrester Wave, where again you can see in the top corner where you can see UiPath, the same three tools, right? So these three tools are the market leaders. So today we are going to see the RPA one. UiPath. You can clearly see all this, like the based on the analysis, right? So how easily you can automate using minimal coding, and how easily you can scale it, and how you can deploy it easily. So everything is kind of the top scorer here, the UiPath. So today we are going to see about UiPath. So I have some references. I can email this to you. So UiPath is another a company. So you have websites for that, and you have the academy where you can actually go through the training. The entire training is available for free for the beginners, and there are paid certifications as well with UiPath. So I will share all this to you. So any questions for now? Okay, so not wasting much time. Let me go through this. This is a trial version which I installed. This is valid for 12 weeks, so which you can install in your machine as well, in your laptop or desktop. So you can download it in that website which I mentioned here. So uipath.com. So you can download that easily and you can install it. So this is the UiPath Studio. So UiPath Studio is the kind of whoever worked in IDEs, right? So like Java, we have WebSphere, and for .NET we have the other IDEs, right? So this is the IDE for UiPath. So UiPath Studio. Basically, we have these planes. So let me go through these planes quickly. So what is it? In the left hand side, you see these activities. So the activities are the ones you will need. You don't have to remember all this. So everything is searchable. So whatever you want to do, you can type it here. Say if I want to assign a variable, like type it assign. So this is the activity. We will go through this. I will show you some samples also. So these are the activities pane, and this little button is the packages button where you need to install like an add-ons we call it, right? So if you want to work on any database related activities, you need to install this. So I have installed all this. That's why it is showing uninstalled. But when you first install, everything will be like, it will not be checked. So if you want to perform any database activities, you need to install this kind of an add-on. It's a package. And then if you want to perform any Excel, this is the one. FTP related mail activities. If you want to, read from the Outlook server or an Outlook, your local Outlook email, so you can use this mail activities. PDF. If you want to read a PDF or XPS files, you need this package. So all these are available in the managed packages. So you can click this auto update also. So whenever there is an update available for these, it will automatically get updated newer version video studio. Okay, so this is the activities panel, and in the right hand side you see the properties. So whatever you are selecting, the properties will be popped up here. And this is an outline one, which is generally an outline of how your project structure looks like. and the output window. So if you want to write anything just to quickly see what is the output is, this is the output window. Okay, so this is the basic introduction. So as you start to work through this, you will know better on this actually. So let me go through one simple, okay. So another one is that we can record or record our activities, and UiPath will write the scripts in the background for you. So you can do it two ways. One, you can write the scripts from the scratch without depending on the recording, or you can rely on the recording and let it record whatever activities you are doing in the screen, and it will write the scripts in the background, and it will give it for you. You can fine tune it, and you can rerun it again. So the record option is there. So let me open a quick document. So this document also I will share with you. This is kind of a best practices document. So different layouts are there. Like you can create a work structure as a flowchart, and it is a sequence. You can do it as a sequence or a state machine. So the two basic ones are flowchart or the the sequence one, so which you can see here. So if you want to start one, sorry. So if you want to start a new project, so you go here and start blank, right? Blank is an empty project, so you need to give a name here. So you give me, okay. So it says like in the right hand pane, it says drop an activity here. So you want to drop an activity here. So um, we will drop a simple message box or even a write line, right? So just to start with, we all do the hello world program, right? So this is a write line. This is one of the activity. So as soon as you click this, you can start to see the properties appearing here. So you can write a text here, right? So this is a simple example. So if you want to run, you click this F5, and you also have this breakpoints also. Step into everything is there. We will go through this later, but this is to run a simple project and see what happens. So yeah, so it ran and it came back again. If you see the output here, output pane, so whatever we have given is written here. So this is it's a simple write line. So you can further do like message boxes also you can do. So like this activity, we don't have to remember all this. Just type it here, whatever you can. It will filter you what the activities are, relevant activities are. So message box is something you can do. Okay, so I need to create a new project which is a sequence. That means that you can have only one within this. You can have only one as a main project. So I need to create multiple sequences. I will go with flowchart or a flow of activities, right? Okay, so here I will go under this. I'll go a sequence. The start button is just the start, right? From here it will start, and I have the sequence. Under this sequence, I can have multiple steps. So if you want to start this first, you link this like this in the top, and link like this, or you can right click and say start as set a start node. So this is a sequence. It will run when it starts. So double click it, and then you can start to drop in whatever you want. So and message box. Okay. So you can also do a variable. You can assign a variable, and then you can print that also. So I will show you in the next right line or even a message box. So you see here there is a little one. It says variable. So you can create a variable here just by clicking this. You can create a string variable, and this is a variable type. You have various variable types here, and this is a scope, right? Scope is like whether this variable is accessible across a project or only for this sequence. You can choose the scope, and this is the default value. Okay. So and in the message box, you just type this str, it will automatically come and you can give this. So the sequence is really it just execute this, and then this arrow that means that it executes this as the next step, and this third is right. I don't need it now. So let's see, run this. Yeah, so this is a message box, message example, and you can see this all over in the output. Okay, so this is one sequence, so you can rename it whatever you want, like hello world example. So this is one sequence. So like this, you can create many sequences. So if you want another set of sequence after this, you can just drop like this and then attach it here. So it will execute from this one and then it goes to this. Okay, sorry, just from here, right? Yeah. Okay. So you can do like input box also. You can do like if you want to get the input dialog, input from a user, you can do this input dialog. So this is the dialog title. And this input dialog, whatever the user is typing, it needs to be stored in a variable. You can get this output. So this is a property pane. So when you click on this property pane, you will see this output result here. You need to assign it to a variable here. So you can either create a variable here and then use this variable here, like tr, right? And then you can come here, you click on this input dialog and go to properties, and here you can use this str input. So what happens is whatever the user has typed in, it will be stored in this str input variable. You can use this message box or the right line. You can use this variable str. So if you want to skip this one, you can still do like you can disable this activity altogether. What happens is it just bypasses this activity and runs this because I want to run this only now. Okay, so this is a number which the yeah, so whatever I typed in, it is actually outputted here. Okay, so this is the simple ones. So let's go through the recording one, right? So let me record now. So I have a Windows application downloaded in here. So this is the any teller. This is a demo application. This is a Windows-based application. So where you can type in the cash in amount, and this is the transaction ID. So cash in and check amount, and then the and not on US check, and then there is the when you click accept, the transaction gets created. So do we have another transaction ID, account number, everything. So this is the deposit details, right? The bank uses, the teller uses. So let's try to automate this one by using our the recording option. So when you click on recording, you have four options. The basic recording, which is a single action or basic application recording. Desktop is what we are going to use now for this teller demo, and we can use this web for browser based applications, and even you can do for Citrix. That means that whatever we are doing in the VDI inside the VDI, you can run the robots outside by automating using this Citrix ones. So these are advanced ones. Let's go through the basic one now. So I'll go for desktop one now, and this is the little action box we call it, and it's not recorded yet. Started recording. So click on this record. So now it is recording. So you see these blue ones wherever I'm hovering. So that means that I have not clicked on anything, but UiPath is trying to you know um, uh, filter down those different input elements in the screen. So wherever you want to click, you click on it. It will recognize that. So click on this, and it this is a a small box. You can either type the value, or you can click the you can use the control key. If you want to enter, you can do this enter also. So we'll just do a quick basic one. So I've given 2000 25,000, and then in the next box. uh, okay, so in the next box I'm typing 20, and in the third one, okay, and then I'm clicking this accept. Then this is the transaction ID, right? I can capture even this also. So click on this. Okay, this is the transaction ID. This is the next transaction I'm starting. So if you are done, you can escape and escape again. It will say press escape twice, so it will ask you that if you want to keep this record output, you say yes. So this is a recording sequence. If you double click it, you can see this is recorded already for us. So first I click the cache in, and then the on US check box, and then on US check non US check box, and then click the accept button, and then transaction ID. Right, these are the sequences it actually created for us. Let me see. I mean, let us run this and see first. Right, before that it needs to start, right, and then right click and say set a start node. So these two we don't have to worry about it for now. So this is the sequence it is going to run. This I can change the comment also on this. Okay, right. Let's run this. It's automatically typed all the values, and it came out. So this is a simple demo of a desktop application. So that value, whichever we have at the transaction ID, this is like get text or click. So this one you can actually store it in a variable. Okay. So, so to get the transaction ID, this one, right, transaction number, which is created for every transaction, you need to have the variable like get text. So this is a sequence, right? Sequence which is automatically generated. So on top of it, you can do further, customization. If you want to do some additional things, you can do it here. So on the first step, I want to capture the transaction number, which is generated at the beginning, right? So I want to get the text from the screen. So get text is the activity for that. So I will click and drag here. This should be inside that the teller one, right? So this is the teller. This entire sequences is actually running on that teller. Any teller from any teller. Desktop application. So under this, I'm actually first I'm getting the text. So how do I get the text? Is that I need to either notify the either record it, or I can notify which window it needs to get the text from. So for that, I can indicate the element inside the window. So you can click on this, it will open here. You can indicate that this is the text I want to extract using the get text method. So this stores in an output. You can go to properties and this value. Again, you can store it in a variable. You can create a variable here and you can use that. Transaction ID. So let me use this property here, transaction ID variable, and this is the transaction ID is being created, and then I will output this. Team, are you following so far, or am I too fast?
Is good, Venugopal.
Okay, so it is just hanging a bit. So as it is just hanging a bit now. So any questions so far? We can clarify that now before we get into it.
Uh, Venu, I'm saying like there enter VB expression and all. What actually it is?
Right. So here you can give like if you want to add a variable plus one or regular expression, so just like assigning a value to a variable, right? So that kind of a thing you can do here, expression variables here, like one plus one. So if you want to just display the expression results, you can give it here, regular expressions or even a simple math oriented expressions here. And this is
And
this is
and you told right, like, can we see the code of this, like how it was and all, whatever we did, right?
code. So this is the code for you. Whatever you're seeing is actually a code.
So this is the one. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, it is just hanged now.
Okay. Okay. So if we want to make it this one, like, uh, yeah, like a loop or something. If I want to loop this total
Yeah,
thing, whatever you did, I mean, I have to do it. Then where we will do that?
yeah, you can do it in here. I'll show you. You have do while loops or while do loops. Everything is there. So all you need to do is record the sequence
So,
and put it under a loop. So again, it's an activity. So everything is an activity here.
okay, okay, got you. I got you.
Now, okay, it's come back again. So okay, let's do this quickly, right? So transaction ID, and let me run this. Okay, so this is the outline, not outline, output. So this is the transaction ID. It is extracted 802972. So like you were asking, right? So you want to do it in a loop. This particular one, right? So what you do is this is the entire sequence. This is the entire sequence, right? So go here and do the do while loop.
Okay,
Or you can even what you can do is even you can give this input, right? So these variables from an Excel sheet also you can do.
okay,
These are dynamic, right? So for your sake, so you need to create the variables for this. Let's do this, right? This is input cache in, and I'm going to use this cache in here. So this one again, the scope need to be more. I mean, it needs to be global, so I can use it. So let me choose this any teller demo. So here I can use this cache. Right? Now the second variable is. So this is the default value you can give here. So if no values are present, you can give a default value here. Let's currently do this like the cache out and third one. Okay, so transaction ID is stored. So now, so these are variables. We have converted into variables. So how you want to see? You want to see a value from um, CSV. So can we see that now? Or yeah. So these are the things we can do. But
Yes, yeah.
yeah. So you can read from a CSV. So it's again an activity, right? So um, this is read CSV. You can put it here and say okay. So read the values from the CSV, and then each value will be we can assign it to the variable, and it will automatically get inputted here. So I have created this for you. Okay, right. So what this does is okay. So whatever you are asking, right? For loop or do while loop. So
Mhm.
let's go through this quickly. So this is just the teller demo, right? So this is a recording. I have initially recorded it like we did the other one, and these are the ones, right? These are the ones I have recorded, and I have stored like cache in, cache out, and out to. So these are the variables. And what I've done is I've actually created a CSV file, which is having some multiple input. Let me open the CSV file. Okay, so these are the CSV files. What I was trying to do is I was trying to do these are the input variables, and then whatever the transaction ID gets generated, it needs to update here. Okay, so
Okay.
right. So what this read CSV will do is it will read the CSV and it will output as a data table. So those who know .NET, they can understand what is data table is. But even then, the data table is that um, it will have the it will have columns and it will have series of rows, right? So normal data table. So this is the output, and then I use the for each activity, which you can see for each row, right? This for each is for objects, and this is for row. So for each row is for the data tables, and each row in data table. So for each row, this body gets executed. So I use this assign activity to assign this row zero value. So row zero is the first row. So because I've given this in the properties, I've given this include column names. That means that the CSV has the column name. So it will by default it will skip the first row, right? If you don't check this in, the first row also will be considered as value. Then you will get error. So these are little property values you can learn about when you're doing the project. Um, so this is a read CSV. It gets the output into data table, and then what I'm doing is I'm going through this each row, assign the row zero. This is the first column. Row of zero is the first column. So I'm just converting it to string, converting it to string, and then assigning it to a string variable, and then doing the same for the second column and the third column. And then I'm actually storing it in the typing it in that window itself. Then what happens is after that, whatever the transaction number is getting generated, I will store it and I will write it into a line. So if we run this, okay, so what it does is it takes the value from that CSV and it just types it. and generates the transaction ID, and it assigns the transaction ID and store it in a variable. Okay, so it's just done, right? In 10 seconds, we have given some 10 inputs, and these are the transaction IDs, right? So I've just use the right line here. You can also, as I was saying, right, you can also update that back to that Excel sheet. That also you can do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, these are the. I mean, if you come up with the scenarios, we have solutions for this, right? So even if you want to connect to a database, you have all the options here. So database connectivity is also there. So you need to install those packages as I was showing, right? The manage packages one. So you need to install those database related activities package, and then you can connect to a database, and then you can even run a transaction, and then execute the queries, execute non-queries, and all. So to your answer, there is no code. You cannot see any code. This is the code for you. Whatever you see is the code actually. So it's all
Okay. So
activity based. Yeah.
yeah. So once we save it, right? Like suppose like if I want to uh, so we are automated, right? So the script or something, if I want to share to someone and all, what to share to them?
So you need to. This is stored as a XAML XAML file. So you can actually send this as.
XAML file. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the demo, right? So these two are fine. So you need this file, which is a XAML
Okay.
file. This you can share and you can open it in the UiPath Studio. But to if you want to run this, right, run this in a machine periodically or repeatedly, you need one another tool which is called orchestration, UiPath orchestrator they call it. So it's again web-based tool. Um, that's an advanced training actually. So this is just to create the basic robot how you do, and the orchestration is to deploy the robots and run it at a specific sequence like a Windows scheduler. You can do that also.
Okay.
And this
So
tool
that
is not
UI path orchestration is
UiPath orchestration is another tool where I have access, but I cannot show you now because in here it is not working. But that is again this platform UiPath Robo. So I have configured mine. So this is a platform you need to log in, and then you can control the robots from here. So to run these different pods, you need to have UiPath installed in the machine wherever you are running. Okay, so if you want to run this sequence in a server, you need to install
okay.
UiPath client version in the server. You don't need to install the Studio. Studio is just for developers. There are UiPath client version. It's just the simple executable. You can install it there, and then you can run that this robot from remotely to that machine. Okay. So this is the
Okay.
basic one
Got it.
for, yeah, this is the basic one for desktop applications. So we can show. I mean, this is for every recording. It is simple. I mean, similar. Like you can record. Let me open another one.
So, Prabhakar, this is Arun.
Yeah.
This UiPath tool is used for even doing functional automation, functional testing automation.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Can do.
Yeah. So functional testing automation with what if you defined the various scenarios and criterias, right? So you if
Input.
you if you have yeah if you have various inputs and this is how you want to execute a specific scenario, you can. But if it is involved some logical thinking in the middle of the input, it cannot be automated.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
it has all the programming aspects like if, else, and do
yes,
loops and all that.
everything is there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all activity based. So
It
these
will
are all,
read from even PDF and all everything.
yes, it can. Yes, PDF. We have many functions. It can read a PDF with OCR functionality, or it can um, export to a PDF. So it has many features. So all these are activities, right? So you can read about everything in the academic UiPath academic. So if you go through the
Can
training, it will tell you about each and everything, like how to read a PDF, or even how to read an email and then open an attachment inside. And inside the attachment, if you want to read a specific text, you can read it. And based on that email can be moved to a folder or forwarded to multiple um, recipients. So everything is, I mean, app integration. So you can see Excel based, CSV, PDF, XPS, database, terminals is for mainframes, mail based ones, FTPs. All these are activities. So all you need to do is you need to choose the activity you want to do, and then so this and then write the sequences. So with little programming knowledge, you can do this. I mean, this is all .NET based. So those who know .NET, it will be easy. But if you do not know .NET also, it is simple enough to understand actually.
when can we create new activities or like no? So
No,
whatever the activities we are having here, so can we have additional activities? Can we create it?
not
System will allow to
not
create the new activities or no?
no. These are inbuilt activities. You are asking about custom activity, right? You can. What you
Correct,
can
correct, correct.
actually. So what you want to do is you want to record a specific one again using this existing activity, and you can create that also as an activity, and you need to export it, and then you would use this. You need to create this as a package like this, and then you can import it, and it will be available as part of this. You can do that, yes. Okay. So something I want to show you like quickly, the data scrapping. Data scrapping is,
Prabhakar, one.
yeah. Yes, Edward.
We were being using the QTP for functional testing, for example, to test the GA, right? So how it is different? So the escort team, what does they have the pre-recorded script and they will be executing and sending a mail to the specific stakeholders on a daily basis. So how that is different than this UiPath?
Okay, so I mean, QTP, like we were showing, right? It can read the input from a CSV, and it will open G application. It will input and all right. So this one, how it is different is that if you want to, I mean, further customize it. So what is the difficulty you have in QTP? If you tell me, I'll tell you if it is actually can be achieved in UiPath. Like in QTP, I cannot do this particular one, so which can be done here.
In to my view, it is looking like both are performing a similar kind of a task, like where you have
Right,
a recording option here and executing the same scripts.
right.
And maybe the way you present here, maybe it's like a flow chart or something. But in QTP, I would see like it is kind of a recording the user actions, whatever the user is performing,
Mm-hmm.
and replay the same action and capture the results and send the results in an email.
Yeah.
Uh, so so I would like to know like where this is being differing this UI part.
Mm, there is
I
no
think it
straight answer.
will read from the images also. I think QTP won't do that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
who's
what
this?
is that?
It will read from images and all, I believe. So the UiPath will read from images and all, but QTP can't read from images and all.
Okay, so PDF
But
reading and or
yes,
image
bro.
reading. Okay, so I'll
No,
show
but
you
that's
one
that.
quick thing actually.
Yeah.
So this is a simple web, right? So the UiPath, I don't know if it can be done in QTP or not. UiPath can actually wait for a specific page to get opened. You don't need to write any code here. And also, if you have a specific element, if you want to find in a screen to notify that this is a particular screen I want to give an input, you can do that as well. Like find element option is there. So if you want to, so UiPath.com, the start trial button is there, but the same UiPath.com without start trial, I will not execute this. So I'm just giving you a simple example here. But like someone was saying, was who was that actually? Jay, is it?
No, it's a similar there also, Prabhakar. For
Mm-hmm.
example, you take a case profile, okay?
Right.
So you have a submit button. Probably the first build, I recorded my session with the button submit. The next build, for some reason, maybe there is a bug, the submit button is not there. When I re-execute the script, so it captures it already captured the HTML objects, right? Again, when you rerun the same script, it will throw an error saying this button, this object is missing.
Okay, right. So
Is it that's what you similarly saying now, right?
yeah. I was trying to pick one example. So QTP, it can be run like a scheduled run, right? You don't need to run manually. It can be scheduled automatically. It can run from remote. It can run in the background. I'm trying to give
Yeah, yes.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
but where this UI path is differing, like it says like you're automating which is a manual repetitive work, right? So is it yet another tool, or is it something having a more capabilities than
It has more
the
capabilities,
QTP?
but QTP I've not worked with, but I'm only hearing from this project. But it has more capabilities. Is all I can say. But like I was saying, like what is that you are facing difficulties which can be done here. It can be done here, and it
No,
hmm.
no, I'm not facing any difficulty. What I'm trying to understand, like,
So trying to
like,
compare and
is
understand.
the
Yeah,
UI path is, yeah, compare. Like, see, when you
I
suggest
understand.
to a client, right? So now
Yeah.
we are moving towards the whole open source world now. So QTP is expensive, and for each and every, even for a two, you can't just like that get this like this UI path. You at least you trial at least you download some basic version and work on, right? So QTP is it's a kind of a test suite from the Mercury. So it expensive and costs much over is going to be used. So when we do the evaluation of the tools, right? So even the SQA and the Cognizant, they are using only the QTP.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to understand like where this UI path is getting differ, or is it completely supporting a different kind of functionalities than the other automation tools available in the market?
No, it does support all the automation tools whatever is existing, and also gives you something extra which is like you can create these as a robots, and you can deploy it in multiple machines at the same time. You can schedule it, you can run transactions. So all these are extra which is provided, but this is also a costly tool. It's not free again. So I'm not sure how it is. It is definitely costly if you're buying multiple
Okay.
licenses.
Do-
Maybe I
okay.
can
Does
give
this
you a comparison. Yeah. Correct.
does this use for any performance testing, or it's only for
Right.
functional and this
No, you
kind
can
of
use it. You can use it for
validation
performance
automation?
testing also. You can use it for performance testing also. So, like I was saying the other day, which process you want to use, you can use it. You can use it for testing. You can use it for business process also. If you have existing tools available, you can replace that also. If your organization is going for UiPath, which they want to get move out of the QTP and other tools, you can still achieve in this. This is like one tool where you can do multiple things. So previously they used to purchase multiple tools. So now they are going for one tool which caters for most of the need.
Okay.
So maybe I'll need to do some research actually on your question. So I'll come back to you definitely. Okay, so I'll just show one quick data scrapping. Data scrapping is, I mean, it's like from screen you want to scrap a whole set of data. So I have this sample data here. So you want to go to, so this is one of the example, right? So you want to go to this is what the stock the analyst do. So daily basis they go here and monitor this and then look at the change, and then based on that they perform some analytics. So I just wanted to show you one quick demo using the data scrapping where you can scrap the entire data within minutes. This entire data, if you want to scrap, you can scrap it within minutes using the data scrapping one. So I'll just start this data scrapping. What it does, it just asks you where you want to scrap the data from. So I'll open this and then so select the element. So you want to choose the element which you want to scrap. So so what it does is this UI element, UI path, it actually tries to read behind the coding of this website, that whether it is a table or whether it is a div. It based on that it gives you the entire data. So when you click on this, it will say that you selected a table cell. That means that UiPath is able to read this entire web page, and then go into the code and then say that this is a table cell. Would you like to extract the data from the whole table? When you say yes, what it does is it just extracts the entire set of records and give you a preview of it, and where you can actually preview the data and say, okay, so this is all I need. Okay, and then you can have the maximum results also. So if you want to capture only top 100, you can do, or if you want to capture all the data, you click 0 here and finish. So sometimes what happens is if you see multiple pages, right? Sometimes first page, second, so 10 pages are there in this, for example. You can scrap that also. So when you click finish, it will ask you, is the data spanning for multiple pages? So if it is spanning for multiple pages, you can show UiPath that where that next button is. So if you show that, it will record that also, and it will continue to click all the next button till the last page, and it will scrap all the data and store it in a data table. So this one does not have any pages. I'll just click no here. So yeah, so this is the new recording. So if you go inside this, again, this attached browser is where all the activities are going to run, and then this extract structured data table is where the data table is. So this is extracted data table. So you can store this table in an Excel sheet or a CSV file. For now, I'll just write. So I'll just write into a CSV file now. So this is a file path I want to give. And then the data table. Data table is the output of this activity. So which is extracted data table. Okay, simple. So if I run it, I just captured that in the Excel sheet. This is extract. If you open this, you'll see the entire extract here. Okay, so this can be an input to multiple applications, or it can be emailed or whatever you want. You can do. So like this, we have many activities which is quick to do and easy to do. Um, um, so in other tools like Blue Prism and all, you need to, I think you need to write sequence of code. So someone was asking, where do I see the code? If they want to see if else and then braces, brackets, parentheses, and all, you can. Loop ism has it, but UIPath is only activities. So all you see are the actual code. Okay, so I think we are about time now, and so any questions or anything you want to discuss or want to do any specific activity in your project, please come and we can discuss it and we can choose whatever option you want, and I will email this the PPT to you, which has the path to the documentation, and you can do the certification also using this academy. You can download the version here on this your path. So any questions, you please drop me an email, and for the QTP one, I will do some research and come back to you, and I'll on that Edward.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Prabhakar. It's a good session. It'll be good to know the pricing also if you can.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yes, find it out. Thanks, team. Thanks all for joining. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ella.
Thanks for all.